Hey friends, I'm Kathy from Kathy's Country Life, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, yay, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me. I am just jumping on here real quick to show you this video, or do a video showing you these cookies. They're so easy, and I know that 99.9% of you out there know the no-bake chocolate oatmeal peanut butter cookies. They're called lunchroom cookies. They're called minute cookies, boil cookies. They go by all sorts of names, and it's my favorite. I have been making these since I started cooking. I mean, back when I was a younger teenager, and it has been many moons ago. But I've always made them. They're my go-to, easy. I want something sweet, whip them up real fast. And the problem that I had was, you know, always thinking that I'm an expert on these cookies, you know, and the instructions, the directions have always said, and let me just show you. Let me show you. This is my old, like when I started making recipes, writing down recipes, a recipe book that I just keep up here in my window. And I'm just going to show you, this is my recipe for the 1 minute cookies. You can't even see it. I tried to write over it. But yeah, that is my recipe, and that is just pitiful. But anyway, this is how much this has been used. I don't have a great memory, I can't just whip them up and remember the ingredients. I don't know why, but I just don't have a great memory. So I always, and I kept this up in the window for this recipe. That's it. That's it. But I always had a hard time, you know, the directions always say boil 1 minute. Well, if you just boil 1 minute, they were too goopy. And then I had gotten to where I could tell by my spoon test about right where it was, but they were not always, they didn't turn out the same every time. Well, I found about 6-8 months ago a recipe for these cookies, doing them in the microwave. And so I'm going to show you how easy these are to whip up in the microwave. They turn out the same every time. Consistently every time. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, in this bowl I have 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter, and I go ahead and stick it in the microwave for about 45 seconds and get it melted. You can make this recipe with your butter, you know, room temperature, or even straight from the refrigerator. But I find that if you go ahead and pre-melt it up, the sugar dissolves better in it, and you don't have a grainy cookie. Okay, to my 4 tablespoons or half a stick of butter, I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar, granulated sugar. And then I'm going to add 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. A 1/2 cup of milk. And guys, the only thing I had on hand was skim, and that's usually what we just have on hand, and it works fine using skim milk. Then I'm just going to give this a whisk to get it incorporated. I do this just in a microwave safe bowl. Okay, put a quick little whisk up there. Okay, and you're going to put this in the microwave on high for 2 minutes. Okay, and in 2 minutes I'll be back with you. Okay, it has been 2 minutes, and all we're going to do now is just whisk this up again. Give it a good stir. Make sure nothing stuck on the sides. And then back in the microwave for 2 more minutes. Okay, 2 minutes is up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some vanilla, say 2 teaspoons. I'm going to mix that in. Now, the peanut butter and the oatmeal, I don't necessarily measure, but just to let you know that the recipe calls for 2.5 cups of old-fashioned oatmeal, uncooked, and 3/4 of a cup of creamy peanut butter. So I put my peanut butter in first so it can start melting in this hot chocolate. And that, I just did a big dollop on my big tablespoon. And I usually do about 2.5 of these big tablespoons full. And I'm going to get this mixed in so it can start melting down into that hot chocolate. Okay, and then I'm going to stir in my oats. I don't measure these either, but like I said, 2.5 cups is what they say. And I'll usually like put a glunk in there. I'll stir it up, and I can just kind of tell by the texture if that's enough. And I believe that was it. And this is what it looks like. Still, still very loose, a little on the runny side, but never fear. I'm just going to let it sit here for just a couple minutes and cool down a little bit, and then we're going to put them out on our parchment paper. Okay, what I do is I just take, well, this is like a big cookie scoop or an ice cream scoop, just to kind of make them even, and I have made them where I just spoon it out with a spoon, and they're all different sizes, but who cares? They taste great. So this is parchment paper. You can use wax paper. So I'm just going to sit here and scoop these all out. And guys, this show you what a pig I am. But when I make these, like if I'm having like a sugar craving really bad, and I'll whip these up, and I'll usually just do a half the recipe for us to eat on for a few days. But when I'm having that sugar, just, oh, I just need something, and I make these up, I usually leave some in the bowl while it's warm, and I just get a spoon and just eat it while it's really warm with a glass of milk. Oh my stars, it is heaven. But I'm not having a sugar attack right now. So these are all going in as cookies. But it is, and I think it would be good too to eat, pour it while it's really hot over some ice cream. Oh, yeah, that would be good too. But my kids grew up on these cookies. My best friend's husband loves them, so every time they come over, I try to have a batch of these for him. That made 13 cookies. protein cookies, and these are pretty good size ones too. But these will just sit here for a little while, and as they cool down, they will firm up, and I'll show you what they look like in the texture of them when they completely cool down. Okay, I've let them sit for about an hour while I was emptying the dishwasher and doing some stuff, and this is them. See, they're not all jiggly or anything like that. So good. They're soft. They're not over hard. They're not crumbly. This is the perfect consistency for these cookies. So good. Now, all microwaves are different. We all know that. So you may have to experiment with your second 2-minute round. You may need to go a few minutes longer or a few minutes shorter. So just experiment with it. Follow the recipe like I showed you. And if yours don't turn out to be the right consistency, then you may need to adjust 5 seconds here, 5 seconds there. Because all microwaves, of course, are not the same. So I hope you give this a try. They're delicious and one of my all-time favorite cookies, and it's one that I think the majority of us know. So thanks guys for joining me, and have a great day.